Hey, I'm trying to figure something out today. Um, Something's bothered me for a week now, and I think this is what my concern is because I have no energy. Well, that's not true. I've dusted everything in the house today, but something's not right, and I'm looking within. So I, um, I see this is tough. This is tough. It's going to put me down. Um, I worked very hard from the time I left my parents' house to make a better life so that my children and their children would not grow up in the same type of mentality or abuse that I experienced and my siblings experienced. So, this is hard and it's showing, but I'm going to get through this. So, it was a lot of hard work for me to do that. And I paid a lot of sacrifice. But I've also gotten very, uh, the rewards have been phenomenal and much more than I could have ever imagined coming from where I came from. So, to explain a little bit, the house I grew up in from third grade until high school, and I moved out before high school was over because of abuse, and I couldn't stay any longer. Fortunately, I had a car. I had a little bit of income from Social Security after my father died, um, committed suicide. But I got $200 a month that helped me. And I had a car that I thought was mine, but it wasn't because my stepdad and mom sold it to me. I gave them $200 for it. A 62 baby blue Cadillac. But I didn't know about title work. So the title never changed hands. So basically, I rented it and I didn't know it until I took the car back. I took it to my mom because I had gotten a different car. I took it to my mom because she didn't have a car and I wanted her to be able to have it and use it. And that's when I learned it was never actually mine. But so anyway, I got to leave home before high school ended because I had $200 a month coming in and I had a vehicle. and I could get myself to school, and I could pay for gas, and I could pay somebody for a bed to stay and sleep in until I got my own place. That house it wasn't a very nice house, should I say. I was so embarrassed that I never had friends over. And I wouldn't let anybody from school take me home because I didn't want them to know where I lived. But one night, I stayed for volleyball practice because I thought maybe I would, because I love volleyball. But I didn't have a way home. And I asked somebody to bring me home, to take me home. But I had them take me to a different house where I could walk home because I didn't want them to know where I lived. I was so embarrassed. My focus in my life has been to take care of my family in a better way than how I was raised. It was my focus. I did not have a degree. I didn't have anything going for me that would make me successful in a job. I came from a small town of factories, and I didn't learn anything that would help me make enough money to raise a family. And what little experience I did have was not going to help me make enough for a family to live with at least one parent and 3 kids. But my goal, my entire life, was to keep my children safe physically, to keep them safe emotionally, and give them the opportunity to learn good coping skills, to learn how to think for themselves, because I didn't know. I didn't know how to think for myself because in an abusive situation, you agree and you don't think. You do what you're told. So there were few things that I knew for sure at 17, 18 years old. And I knew for sure I was going to have 3 kids. And some of that is spiritual. Because I was in communication. And protected in certain ways. by spiritual beings. And I would do whatever I needed to do to make sure my kids were safe, that they could think for themselves, even if they never agreed with me, which would be hard, but think for yourself. Figure out what fits you, what doesn't. And sometimes it's come to bite me in the ass because it worked. They are successful. So we lived on a shoestring with young kids. My first job in Wichita in 1991, I made $5.25. I stayed there 7.5 years. And when I quit there, I was making $12. So for housing, I did the best I could. We didn't do a lot. Kids get bored, but I felt like we kept as busy and offered experiences to help them learn about the world. I never, as a kid, it was a big damn deal for us to spur the moment, get in the car, we're going for a trip, and we would drive 2 hours into Minnesota from Iowa. And that was a big damn deal. But the 3 of us kids couldn't talk, had no voice, sat there next to each other, irritated as shit because Mom, she's touching me, but we couldn't say that. If we had to pee, we had to pee in a coffee can while the car's moving. There was no stopping. And this was a pleasure trip for the parents, or at least one of them. So I've never been out of the country. I've been to maybe 6 states. I don't know. I should probably add it up. Shouldn't take too long. I don't have a lot of experience about different cultures and stuff. Just enough to give my kids as many experiences as children to help them identify what they were good at, what types of things interested them. Because obviously everybody has to look at a career or how they're going to make money to live on. In high school, my senior year, my uncles and aunts and my friends' parents There weren't too many, but I had a couple. Uh, as graduation got close, they're asking, so are you going to go to college? I'm like, I don't even know what I want to do. I don't know who I am. How would I know what to go to school for? No one in my immediate family finished high school, let alone went to college. I didn't know how to apply. I didn't know anything. The one thing I did hear from school is that the SAT scores were very important, and that on a certain day SAT, ACT scores or tests would be given. And so I did show up for that because I didn't know what it meant, but I thought it was important from what they told me. So I did them. I don't even know what I scored. I know, Tuck. I know. I'm getting excited. But anyway, my kids, I raised them in the best, most affordable housing I could do. One of them was an apartment, mid-Wichita, that was part of a older home. They had taken the upstairs and made it into an apartment. And we had to walk like 15, 16 steps just to get to the door, because they had the steps were in the back of the house. You park in the back, walk up the steps, and there was a kitchen, 2 or 3 bedrooms, and a bath. That was it. Living room. The living room, I think we may have had a bed in there. I don't remember. And we had bunk beds. But I didn't have the washer dryer in that apartment. I had a washer dryer, but I had it in somebody else's house, and I would have to go to her house, to their basement, to wash the clothes, because I didn't have it at my house. There was no place for it. And my house stunk like pee all the time. And I know the neighbor kids, I'm sure, that's not good. And that wasn't good for my kids, because we had bedwetters, and I couldn't wash the sheets every day. I couldn't do it. There was no way to do it. So to say I'm very proud of my kids, oh my God. To see how far they've come. I had to move away from my hometown. I did move away. I didn't have to, but I did, because I was hell-bent. My kids, or our kids, are not going to end up like the others around here. I will sacrifice whatever I have to see this to do my best for them to be better. And it wasn't perfect, but it was a step up. It was a step up in the right way. And they took it from there. And I'm so proud. I can't. I hope the few examples I've given are enough for you to see my sentiment and my gratitude and my thankfulness that these kids came up, had a better life, gave a better life, living their best life. Oh my God. I can't even say that I helped them through college because I just didn't have it. But they knew how to get it. And I can't take all the credit. I'm not saying I'm taking all the credit. But I sacrificed for my kids to have a better life and for my grandkids to have an even better life. The word that has me upset is dump. Dump. I lived in a dump. Most of the homes I've lived in have been dumps. I live in a dump now, but it's my dump. But that makes me thankful for where my family is now. They won't have to worry about not having a nice place to live. They won't have to worry about being embarrassed to invite someone over. They don't have to even think about it, to give it a second thought. But by using the word that grieves me right now, or has for the last week, I don't know what to say or how to help. Keep a perspective that because you have enough, you have nice things, doesn't make you better. It doesn't make you a better person than someone else. You have tools. They are tools to use to help you along your way so that you can enjoy life. And as you build your perspective about the world and where you live and where others live, be thankful. Be thankful for those that have come before you. or gone before you, maybe, and what they've endured so that you could have what you have. Imagine that my elders, imagine that my elders worked hard for me to have what I had. Can you imagine how rough that would have been? Oh my God. No air conditioners, no internet, barely a car, chores on the farm. That's a good place to quit, I think.